FX Nation, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Guys, I get asked a lot about the TDI and whether I use it or not and how I actually use it if I do still use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just make a quick step-by-step tutorial here for you on the TDI so I can answer all your questions literally just in one video. So I hope you enjoyed this particular video, guys. Without further ado, let's get this started. All right, guys, so now that we're on a chart here, let's go ahead and talk about essentially how can we go ahead and use this TDI to our advantage, right? How can we use it as an extra tool to help us confirm trades? Now, a couple things. So number one is this is just a tool, right? And it's a tool that we're going to use essentially to help us confirm trades. All right, we're not going to take trades solely based off of the TDI. Okay, we're just going to use it as another tool that we have in a way to confirm essentially what we're thinking is going to happen or what we may be seeing in the market. Okay, so first things first, if you use TradingView, okay, to get this particular TDI indicator that I have here, all right, so this one here, you're going to go ahead and you're going to click on indicators. You're just going to tap on search TDI, and you're going to get a whole bunch of lists here. Okay, very simple, guys. You're going to pick this one. Okay, that's the one that's made by Jay Donovan. All right, so that's the one that you're going to pick. All right, once you click on it, it'll add it and it'll look like this. Okay, now real quick, the settings that we're going to use for this, all right, is going to be this 21, 34, 7, and 2. This is pretty much stock, right? We don't touch this. Okay, the things that we're going to adjust is here. So here's what these are the things that you're going to adjust right here, these numbers essentially. So 32, 37, 50, 63, and 68. Those are the numbers that you need to adjust. Okay, that's what you need to adjust. If you're using MetaTrader, okay, MetaTrader 4, then you should already have our TDI. You should actually have two different versions, right? There's one that's called Pro, and then there's the other one. The one that I would like you guys to use is the one that shows like the divergence on the TDI. So you might see basically lines that are like this, that are showing like this, and that show basically divergence on it. Okay, so I want you to use that one for this. All right, but let's take a look now that you know how to add it on TradingView. Let's take a look at some examples as far as what exactly are we looking for. All right, when it comes to this, and how can we use it for a way to confirm trades. So first things first, this particular range here. So this range down here, right? So this entire range here, these two lines, the 68 and the 63, this is our what we're going to call sell zone. Okay, this is our sell zone, and then down here at the very bottom, these two lines, so that would be the 32 and the 37. Those are going to be our buy zone. Okay, so we're going to make this as simple as possible. Sell zone, buy zone down here, sell zone up here. Okay, literally we'll keep it that simple. So let's take a look at some examples of actual trades and what does this actually look like? What does the TDI actually look like when the trade setups are there? All right, so let's start off with literally right here. This was Friday, and I want you guys to take a look and see what this looks like basically right here. The reason I'm pointing this out is because obviously this is a straightaway trade, peak formation low, consolidation level 1, and then boom, it takes off. So look what it looks like here, right? We have essentially price coming out of the middle, and it's basically bouncing between the middle of the range and the top here. So it comes down, goes up, comes back down, you have basically a price pinning to the middle of the range, and then also pinning to the 50. So you got two things there. Another thing that you have is look at the TDI right here. You see you have first leg, came up, second leg, and then it takes off. You see that? So you have basically a W, and that W is where? It's basically right here in the middle of the 50. You see that? So pinning to the 50, pinning to the middle of the range, and pinning to the 50 EMA. Okay, so you see how you have multiple sources of confirmation here, and that's what you want. That's what you want to do. You want this to add to your trading. Is you just want to add more confirmation to what you're essentially seeing. Okay, so let's take a look at a couple more examples of certain trades here, so you can get a better look. So this one right here, the previous day. This would be a type 3 setup, pins to the 50 on a type 3 setup. So I want you to look what happened here on this TDI. Right? Went back up to the middle of the range, pin to the 50. What did it do? Pin to the 50, literally to the middle of the TDI, the 50 here, and then turn back around. See that? So this is a way essentially that you can basically use the TDI to confirm. Now the best type of trade setups that you're going to get, guys, is basically when you focus on confirmations that happen in the buy zone and up here in the sell zone. Okay, when you get basically like M's and W's like this, you see how this shows a W here? Okay, now I want you to notice something. Okay, I want you to notice how this W here is basically like this. You see? You see how this is going up, right? And this is basically going down. You see that? So essentially this is going down, but this is going up. So this is scaling up, this is scaling down. This is what you call divergence. Okay? All divergence is basically the chart itself is literally going down and the TDI is going up. Alright? When you get divergence, okay, that is an indication that the trend, that this trend here is about to die. Okay? So how can you use divergence? Well, if you play this out, you can see what happens. Literally. Right? You see what I mean? So if you can use divergence like this, this is basically letting you know that this trend is about to die in reverse. Okay? So these are the key features that we're essentially looking for when we want to use TDI as a form of confirmation. Okay? This kind of this stuff is what we're looking for. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at a couple more examples here. So if we look here, we have Asian range is about 19 pips. Basically have a move down right to the middle of the range, move sideways. We get the spike down to the false move, basically, right? Comes back up, comes back down. What is that? A W, right? This right here is a W. Look, see that? Now look at the TDI. TDI comes down, goes back up, comes down again, makes a W. Do you see that? Look at that W there. Comes down to the 37 to that, into that buy zone, makes the W here, and then comes back up. You see that? So this type of stuff is what I'm talking about on how we can use the TDI for sources of confirmation. Okay, this is exactly what we want it to, how we want to use it, essentially. All right, we want to try to use it to our advantage, like this. All right, so let's take a look at this example here. This, we have a 15 pip range. Okay, basically we have a move from the middle of the range straight up here, and then we have a spike down. Right, look at what the TDI does here. Gives us this as a first leg here. goes down, spikes up, goes above the blue band, okay, goes above the blue band, and then comes back in the blue band straight down. Okay, now notice that if we go back to this candle here, there's the next candle, there's our entry right here, right? And so if this is our entry here, where's the TDI at? TDI has already crossed over everything, all the lines, right? It's already headed down. Look how the TDI reacts here. See that? So you see the market sentiment, the yellow line here, is still going down, as the market is still the same thing, continuing to go down. Okay? But things like this, guys, green outside of the bands, coming back in like a shark fin, essentially. Okay? So take a look at this setup here, 16 pip range. So essentially we're really wanting to look for a what? Type 1, right? So we get the price that goes all the way up, makes potentially the first leg, comes down here, goes back up, comes down again, right? And then goes back up again for a third time, right? So this gives us basically a third leg of an M, right? Basically 1, 2, and 3. Now here's what I want you guys to look at. What is the TDI doing? TDI is basically headed what? Headed down, right? And what is this doing here? See how it's even? One's going down, this is even here, and it's still trying to go basically up at this particular point. If we go back to this point here, okay, look at the TDI. It's starting to go down, okay? But this is still going up. Do you see that? This is still trying to go up. So we have basically the opening of the New York box here. We still got to look for the pattern, guys. We still got to get the timing, right? But we can use this to help us confirm and look, right? We already know what happens essentially. This trade goes down. From here down is about 20 pips. That's essentially what we expect to get out of the New York session. Okay, but having this here as divergence can basically help you with more confidence in getting into trades. Okay, now a couple things I want you to keep in mind, guys, is this is not perfect. Okay, the TDI is not perfect. It's not a godsend or anything like that. It's just a tool that when used correctly, it can help us basically identify a trade setup. We still got to find the pattern. We still got to find the right timing, right? We still got to do the cycle. We still got to do PTC, pattern, timing, and cycle. We still got to do all that stuff. Okay? The only thing that we're using the TDI for is for an extra source of confirmation. That's it. Can it give us an extra source of confirmation that we would like to see to give us that extra confidence when we're taking in a trade? That's literally all we're trying to use the TDI for. All right, we're not trying to base any trades off of the TDI or anything like that. We're literally just using it as an extra tool to help us confirm things. That's it. There's nothing else that we're trying to use this TDI for. Okay, if we take a look at this example here from the day before, okay, you know what the setup is right here, type 1W, right? Second leg is right here, right? What is it doing? Look, do you see that? Outside of the bands, boom, a W, right? Here's a crossover right here. Okay, it's basically literally like getting into it on this candle here. You know what I mean? So it can help us get into trades or make us more confident getting into the trades. But remember, it's not going to replace your ability, again, to see the pattern, the timing, and the cycle. That stuff's still got to be there. But when you see stuff like this, guys, I mean, This is stuff that we can use to confirm, right? Boom. You tell me you're not going to get into that trade at that time then? You know what I mean? Your trade is like literally over in 2 candles. You know what I mean? So if you got it, let's just say, you know, you take the conservative route, you got it in here, right? I mean, you're still getting literally 30 pips, you know? You're still getting 30 pips out of it. Okay? So there you go. That's another example there of how you can use it. We can keep going. Look, previous day. What do we have? We got basically 2 setups, right? We got one during the London session right here, false move low. We're right here in the buy zone. We're outside of the band, outside of the blue bands, right? Outside of like the Bollinger Bands, what they call it. We're outside of that. We'll come back in. Where do we come back in? We'll come back in on this candle here. If we go to the line chart, what does that look like? Looks like a W, right? So there you go. Take it all the way up. New York session reversal, right? You get type 1M coming back down. What does it look like on the TDI? Well, this is the first leg here. Second leg, look what's happening on the TDI, right? It's going down. You see that? It's going down. This is staying the same. You have divergence. Okay, so that should give you confidence to take that second leg back down. Okay, and get your 20 pips for the US session. All right? Things like this is what we're looking for the TDI to help us. Okay? The absolute best case scenario, guys, when you're looking at the TDI is if you have price all the way up here in the sell zone or price all the way down here in the buy zone. Right? That's going to give you really good confidence when you're taking the trade because it's already down here. Price is already exhausted. You should have already had, you know, basically like 3 levels of rise or drop on a 15-minute chart. You know? But if you look at this one here, look at the previous day. I mean, we can do this like literally almost every day. So what do we have here? 14 pip Asian range. Okay, you see that we're moving some big candles, right? All through here. So we know we're not looking for this as a trade setup. All this stuff here, this is not a trade setup. None of this is. None of this is a trade setup. Okay? You know that if it's moving sideways, all they're doing is collecting contracts. That's all they're doing, collecting contracts. Okay? First leg here, comes back up for a second leg. You even get a third opportunity. You start pinning to the 200 right here. Okay? What's happening? Again, it goes from here to here, and it's working its way down. This is still working its way up, technically. Technically, this is still going up, right? This is higher. This is all higher here. Okay, still going up. This is starting to go down. It's divergence. Okay, you get extra sources. You get divergence. You got pins to the 200, second, third legs on the US session. What do? You know, you look at the previous day. This is on a Friday. We're in a trending cycle. Like, what are we doing? We're selling. You know, we're literally selling. That's what we're doing. That's all we're doing. Look, previous day. $18 pip Asian range comes up here to the top of the range, gets stopped by the 50, comes down, works a little bit the area, comes back up. Right? Look, spike, comes down, moves over, spike. See that? Is this Is this lower than this? Yes. See how it's slanted down? You see how this is even? Divergence. Take that trade down. Take that trade down. Opening of the US session. Where are we at? We're literally, what, 26 pips from the low of the day so far right there. And then from the high of the day, we're like another 20. So where are we? We're in the middle. We're pinning to the 50 at the beginning of the US session. What do? It's a continuation trade. I mean, literally, we're just going literally day by day by day. Right? Look. What is this doing? This is working its way down. What is this doing? Still trying to go up high or break even. Or basically stay even. So look. I mean, what else do you need? Just extra forms of confirmation. That's all it is. Right? 16 pip Asian range. You see the move straight up. We're basically pinning on top of the 800. Okay? You see that we make basically the high of the day here. We come back and retest. We don't close above. By the time that this second leg is here, look, we're all the way down here. We're working our way lower. You see this? Lower. It's going lower. What does that tell you? Divergence. Okay? By the time we get in, which is basically here at the beginning of the US session, what are we doing? We're going down. Look at this V shape down here on the previous day. Straight out of Asia, straight down. Where do we go? We go way below the 30, all the way down to the 27 almost. See that? Make that V, come back across, and we're going straight up. See that? You get a crossover right here, all the way down. That's basically what, like, this candle will appear, you know? So all these forms, all these different areas you can use on the TDI as a form of confirmation. Okay? Now, like I said, this is imperfect, so it's going to take, if you're going to use this, use it as only a form of confirmation. Don't make any trading decisions just based off of solely a TDI. Okay? Remember that. So incorporate it basically into your back testing and see if it could just help you in your back testing. If it cannot help you in your back testing, then it's probably not something that you're going to feel comfortable with using in the live market, right? Because you don't see the value in using it, and that's completely fine, guys. Okay? It's completely fine. All right? But this is how I want you guys to be able to use the TDI as just a form of extra confirmation to help you with seeing, whether or not you're seeing the right things or not. Okay? And just like everything, guys, it's going to take time to get used to it. It's going to take time to understand it and really, kind of use it if you really want to do it, right? If you really want to use the tool. It's going to take time to learn it, and it's going to just take practice, really, is what it is. So as you're back testing this on your pairs, see if it can actually help you. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed that step-by-step on the TDI. Hopefully it answered all of your questions for you, and at the same time it brought you some value as far as using the TDI and specifically which one I use as well for you. So if you like this type of content, guys, give me a like on the video, share the content, subscribe to the channel, guys. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your trading week. Guys, if you need any more help or you like the content that we provide on this channel, come on over to the FXN MasterClass. It's available right now. What you get essentially is a lifetime membership, a full mentoring course, an advanced course. You get the Blue Summit videos, weekly Q&A sessions every Sunday, group session archives, which that by alone has about 100 hours of content, weekly analysis videos, midweek analysis videos, MT4 and MT5 indicators, a customized trading journal so you could actually journal your trades every day, and then a backtesting journal that you can use to backtest and collect all of your data. Not to mention a mentoring private chat, guys. So all the information is in the link in the description if you want to join now. We look forward to seeing you there, guys, and take care of yourselves.